In this episode, we will explore Uruguay's UFO investigations. Uruguay is one of the smallest countries in South America, and witnesses have reported phenomena there since 1947. It is one of the countries where the military seems to be more open-minded towards the UFO phenomena. In 1979, the President of Uruguay established the Commission for Receiving and Investigating Complaints of Unidentified Flying Objects, or CRIDOVNI, as an official department of the Uruguayan Air Force. The Commission receives, researches, and investigates UFO sightings as part of their routine activity, and they openly explore the possibility of extraterrestrial origins. Since 1979, CRIDOVNI has received an average of 100 cases per year. Since the organization started over 30 years ago, only about 40 cases remain unsolved. These are the unusual cases that range from alleged abductions to landings of unidentified aircraft. Colonel Ariel Sanchez is the principal investigator and president of the organization. Colonel Sanchez has 33 years of active service. He attended military aviation school, is an aviation safety specialist, has training in air traffic control and radar operations. He also served as a witness at the Citizens' Hearing on Disclosure in May of 2013. In 2012, the Brazilian magazine Revista UFO published an extensive two-part interview with Colonel Sanchez, where he emphasized, "Our files contain any kind of UFO cases you would see in the X-Files." CRIDOVNI staff dedicates time to UFO research and is on standby to respond to reports that are made. The team responds to incidents in uniform. They interview witnesses, collect samples, and gather data so the UFO investigation can be carried out. Colonel Sanchez explained that they conduct police-style investigations into the most compelling cases. The main priority of CRIDOVNI is to gather case records and develop guidelines confirming the veracity of objects observed. For instance, the investigators first will consider if a sighting could be caused by atmospheric events or the landing of a foreign aircraft. In some cases, it has been considered that the anomalous object in question might be some sort of monitoring probe, and even the extraterrestrial theory is research based on scientific analysis. One of the most fascinating aspects confirmed by the Commission has been the change of chemical compositions of soil where landings are reported. The unexplained cases have been kept open, and all of the country's UFO files were declassified in 2009. A Uruguayan newspaper was given access to the files and was able to publicize some of the information. One of the most well-known cases took place in the town of Florida. The witness, Hector Rufino Delgado, captured photos of a UFO on July 11, 1977. The photos were published in Open Minds magazine. Guillermo Roncaroni, an investigator from Argentina, has done extensive research on the case. According to Roncaroni, in the third photo it shows the object is rotating on its vertical axis at a considerable speed. Another notable case occurred in 1986 when a group of Pucara planes responded to reports of a luminous sphere over Palmar Dam. The sphere flew off at a high rate of speed toward Argentina and could not be followed. When pilots returned to their base, the sphere reappeared over the dam. It changed colors from red to yellow. After another chase, the object vanished from sight. Shortly after the sighting, the city of Montevideo experienced a blackout. Recently, CRIDOVNI announced it would analyze photographs taken by actress Maria Fernanda Romero. She observed an unknown object moving toward the horizon while taking a photo of the sunset. The camera was only able to capture a pink streak of light that many consider to be a lens flare or a meteorite. The Unidentified Flying Objects Investigation Center, or COV, was a civilian organization that conducted UFO investigations in Uruguay from 1958 until 2008. They established many methods for UFO investigation. Other groups, such as the Unusual Area Phenomena Study Group, remain active. To extend its outreach, CRIDOVNI established their own civilian section, which is known as the Regional Center for Investigation of Aerospace and Terrestrial Phenomena, or CRIFAT. This committee has been operating since April 2001. CRIFAT receives reports through letters, emails, and phone calls. Then, to conduct a full investigation, they bring together various groups and independent researchers who gather evidence using various scientific methods. This enables them to collect and classify information, compare unusual cases, create a database, and determine standards. CRIFAT also offers certification in UFO research to groups and individuals that comply with the requirements of the center. This certification allows researchers and investigators to develop technical activity or scientific research with recognition of the center. The focus of ufology in Uruguay is based on an impartial interpretation of the evidence and phenomena. They try not to encourage or discourage any particular point of view and stay open to discuss any alternative interpretation. Using the information in a selective way, the groups work together and share information through lectures, conferences, interviews, and journalistic notes as a socio-cultural activity to benefit the public and all of humanity. In November 2010, Uruguay hosted their first international conference on investigation of aerospace and terrestrial phenomena. This was the first time a UFO event was sponsored by the Air Force in Uruguay. The MUFON network has set up a website at mufonuruguay.org. There are links to file a UFO sighting in English or Spanish. One important side note that the website emphasizes is that about 95% of cases have a logical explanation. Sighting reports can be reviewed along with analysis and updates. One rather interesting report featured on the page is Case 30. It is the alleged landing of a craft in the rural region of Colonia in April of 2013. The event was featured on the local news shortly after the incident occurred. According to the landowner, the Uruguayan Air Force has closed off the exact location of the alleged landing. They have covered up the soil with a tarp in order to preserve any evidence, and photos of the site are prohibited. Fortunately, MUFON field researcher Fabian Gonzalez was able to visit the site, and he was able to take a look at the soil under the tarp. He reported a burned area on the ground that was in the shape of a circle about 2 feet in diameter. In the center, there were 6 wells about 23 inches deep. There were also 3 indentations of identical size and depth forming a triangle surrounding the burnt area. CRIDOVNI investigators had the soil remains analyzed by the University of the Republic. According to MUFON Uruguay's website, the terrain analysis yielded no results. Another location in Uruguay that has become somewhat of a tourist attraction is known as Estancia La Aurora. The site is an agricultural cattle farm established near the city of Salto. Since the 1970s, many stories of strange lights, UFOs, and other unexplained phenomena have been reported in the area. Incidents at La Aurora have been investigated by CRIDOVNI, but they have not found anything abnormal about the area. Despite that, the area continues to be a tourist attraction for the country. Many visit the area seeking a healing experience. The soil in the area is rich with quartz, and according to folklore, the location is on what shamans call a world axis. Another theory is that the private area is used for some type of military operation, such as the testing of a prototype aircraft. The 3% of CRIDOVNI's unsolved cases all contain strange circumstances, so there is still research to be done in the country of Uruguay. There's also much we can learn from the many years of experience of this professional organization. Colonel Sanchez maintains an optimistic attitude and has said that with the help of the people, they can continue to keep the airspace in Uruguay safe for pilots. For Your Need to Know, this is Tina Goodson.
If you have a UFO sighting or something you would like to report to Open Minds, you can go to our website at openminds.tv and click the contact button to send us your request. Or you can email us at contact@openminds.tv. You can also call us at 1-877-UFO-0110. That's 1-877-836-0110.